Today in math class, we talked about applying percents to real life situations. You have a handout that has 4 problems on it. We're going to work through those, which will help you greatly on your homework. The first problem on the notes says 5% of $30. So the first thing we want to do is take the percent and make it a decimal. 5% right now has no decimal in it, so I'm going to put a decimal at the end and move it backwards 2 times. We call this our DP method, our Dr. Pepper method, or basically I'm multiplying or dividing the number by 100. Dividing the number by 100. So once you get the percent, 0.05, I'm going to take the original amount of 30 and multiply it by 0.05. Once you get through multiplying, your last step is figure out where the decimal goes in your answer. I'm going to look back up at my problem. 30 has no decimal. 0.05. When I look at this one, I notice there's 2 digits behind the decimal. So I need to start at the end of my answer, back up 2 times, and then put the decimal in the answer. So I would know that 5% of $30 is $1.50. The second question on your notes page says 150% of $20. I'm going to start the same way. Take the percent, apply the DP method to know what it is as a decimal. I'm going to put the decimal at the end of the number because 150 currently has no decimal in it. I'm going to do the DP method, which we said we're going to move backwards 2 times. Now my number is 1.50. I'm going to take the original amount, 22, I'm going to multiply it with 1.50. If you want to put 22 on the top, that's totally fine. You'll get the same answer as me. I'm going to multiply this out. I put in my placeholder 0 before I got ready to scoot over. The last thing I need to do is determine where does the decimal go. So in the number 1.50, I have 2 digits behind the decimal. When I look at the number 22, there's nothing behind the decimal. So I only have 2 digits behind the decimal. I'm going to start at the end. I'm going to back up 2 times. So now my answer, 150% of $22 is $33. Question number 1, which is the first story problem. The thing we talked about in class is this problem is doing sales tax. And sales tax is just like markups. We talked about that yesterday. So I'm going to find the sales tax, and then I'm also going to find the total cost of this shirt. So I'm going to solve this problem just like I did the last one. I'm going to start with the percent. I'm going to make it a decimal using our DP method. 5 does not have a decimal in it, so I'm going to put it at the end. Then I'm going to back up 2 times. So my decimal is 0.05. I'm going to take the original amount, which was $20. I'm going to multiply it by 0.05. Put in my placeholder 0. Now I'm going to figure out where does the decimal go at in my answer. 20 does not have a decimal, but my other number does, and I've got 2 digits behind the decimal. So I'm going to back up 2 times. This is the tax. The tax is $1. When you buy something, they actually add the tax to the thing you want to buy. So the shirt costs $20. And I'm adding the tax, which was $1. So the total that she's going to pay for this shirt is $21. Now I have 2 answers on this problem. I have the tax and I have the total. So you need both of those answers. The last question on homework is talking about interest. We're going to do interest the exact same way. I'm going to start out with there's an amount of money, $2,000, and the interest is 7%. Okay, I'm going to take 7%. I'm going to make it a decimal. Right now there's no decimal in 7%, so I'm going to put one and use the DP method, back up twice. So 7% is 0.07. I'm going to take the starting amount from the bank, $2,000, and I'm going to multiply it with my decimal of 0.07. Put in my placeholder 0. Add them together. When you look at this one, 2,000 has no decimal. But the next number, I've got 2 digits behind the decimal, so I want to back up 2 times. This is my interest for 1 year. $140. The question says you're going to have to pay interest for 5 years. So to do your final answer, you're going to take $140, which was 1 year worth of interest, and multiply it by 5 because you're doing it for 5 years. Then I'm going to see how many digits are behind the decimal. The 5 doesn't have any digits behind the decimal, so I'm only going to have to back up twice. So now my answer, this is my interest for 5 years. I'm going to have 2 total answers. I have the interest for 1 year, and then I have the interest for 7 years, which is the total amount of interest he paid. You should use these questions to help you with your homework, and if you look closely, 3 of these are actual problems on your homework page. If you need help, come and see us. Good luck. Tomorrow's Friday.